Hello and welcome to Warframe. My name is Todd, also known as Mac, and this is of course Warframe. Last time we left off completing parts of the Limbo Theorem quest. We're coming back just after Christmas here, so I hope you guys are having a wonderful holiday season. Coming up to New Year's, as this kind of comes out. I don't know if this comes out before or after New Year's, but regardless, if it comes out after, I hope you guys are having a fantastic New Year. So, a couple things to note. During the time of this recording, the Razorback Armada has come and is attempting to destroy the Runda Relay. The way you can complete the Razorback Armada, I don't know if I've talked about it before. Pretty sure I haven't, but the way you complete it is by crafting an item that the Lotus has sent to you. So let's go into our inbox here because we got some cool mail. So the Lotus here sent us the Razorback Cipher blueprint, and she talks a little bit about what you need. As you can see, the cryptographic ALUs will be something you need to build the Razorback Cipher, which are only found in Arcwing missions. Oh, excuse me, a little burp there. Near Jupiter and Neptune. So that would be, we would potentially be able to do the Razorback Armada right now if we'd completed Thebe and then went on to Galilea. Galilea is where you find the cryptograph ALUs, or on Neptune at Salacia. Once you gather enough cryptograph ALUs, which you need 4 for each cipher, you can go into your foundry under the gear area, and you can find Razorback ciphers right there. You need to craft at least 3 of these ciphers to complete the Razorback Armada event and get the reward from it, the Aurican Catalyst, and 200,000 credits. Note that the Armada event ends when the Armada reserves are depleted, and when the percentage that is reaches 0, or in 3 days, 1 hour, when the Runda Relay is destroyed. Currently, we could potentially do that, but I'm not going to jump straight into that just because the Razorback Armada mission is very similar to an assassination mission where you have to kill a modified jackal. However, the mission is very difficult, as in pretty much all the basic enemies are replaced with extremists, and what are they called? Oh, my brain's not coming to me. What are they called? Factions. I have no idea what they're called. I can't remember. Criminies. Well, if I remember what they're called, they're effectively the bipedal robots with shields on the front of them. Oh my god, my brain is just blanking. Burses, that's what it is, burses. So if you're not able to effectively fight burses and extremists in like 1 or 2 shots, because they are pretty much the common enemy in that mission, I would not do the Razorback Armada just yet. So last time we did complete the Limbo Theorem quest and got the Limbo Neuroptics blueprint. You might notice that it's here in our foundry completed. I had to go farm some parts, some little pieces for it. It was just some basic, I think it was salvage that I needed, or no, that was it was the neurodes that I needed. So I farmed up some neurodes on Earth by just doing some Earth missions, so we could craft a Limbo Neuroptics. Because I did a little bit of research and before I finished last time and realized that I needed to craft this so we could move on with the Limbo Theorem quest, I will do the same thing this time around when we complete the part for the Limbo Theorem here. Let's claim our Aurican Reactor, and we'll also claim the Limbo Neuroptics.
Operator, I found a new theorem hidden deep in that Warframe part. These are actually starting to make sense. I mean, they're nonsense, but there's logic in the nonsense. It's almost as if someone's trying to speak to me in my own language. This new theorem is equally full of gaps. Please, find more proof fragments.
So, thankfully last time we did find enough proof fragments, so we don't need to worry about getting more proof fragments this time. You can effectively find more proof fragments in the Arcwing missions, of course. The one specifically on Mars, I believe, is the one. Regardless, the quest will take you there if you need them, so you can go gather them. But we already have enough, so we'll just start crafting the Limbo Systems Theorem, which will take us straight into another mission the same way previously. Is there anything else I needed to talk about? I feel like there was something else I wanted to talk about, but I don't remember what it is right now. Oh, yes. So we did get some other mail. That's what it was. Barraketeer has arrived this weekend. We could go visit him, but he, again, sells things for ducats, which we don't really have a massive amount of at this moment. Also, the Tenobomb event did reach its final goal, meaning that we got some more glyphs, and also a armor set. So that would be our first armor set, which is kind of cool. We can show that off. We will be taking off the little ribbon there, but that's okay. We still support the causes that are represented by that ribbon, of course. We're just switching up our armor to show it off. So we can equip that and make our Rhino look a little bit cooler here. And effectively, this is how you would go about equipping any armor sets, of course, that you'd normally get. You can, of course, color it by selecting colors. Let's go with our favorite colors. Let's go red as our main color. We'll go with white as the pattern there, and gold as a metallic color. Let's see, what else? Do we have another metallic color? We do. So we have another metallic color. Let's go with silver for that one. And of course, finally, the energy color, which we'll go with our blue for. And there we go. That's how you'd get some cool armor. And if you might have seen some Warframes out in the world that looks a little bit different than yours, of course, that would probably be how they achieved that look. But it's nice to finally get your first armor set.
Clear. Could it be that there's a plane between our normal plane and the void? A space between space? A rift? A rift that this Limbo could control? Oh, and I've marked your navigation console. I think you'll be quite pleased with what you find there.
And so we recover the Limbo systems next. Words. I did a little bit of research into what these future parts will require. I don't think I have to farm any resources for them, but of course it will take time to build them. So even if we complete the systems part this time around and gather the blueprint, we won't be able to continue this quest until next time. So I figure what we'll be doing is we'll be heading towards some of the bosses of the other planets to kind of progress in the star chart. I gotta admit, this feathery armor set's kind of interesting.
Here, Hunter. I sense it. Track it with the synthesis scanner. Don't let it escape.
So of course Samaris is referring to
We're
the
here in
synthesis
search
chart that we
of lost
have.
artifacts and items buried deep below the surface. The scanner has picked up a target. Go to the dig site.
We don't really have to worry about any synthesis targets at this moment.
Excavator deployed. Protect the unit while it extracts the
That is,
artifact.
if we don't want to. We do need to worry about trying to keep our dig alive, though. I think we may have better luck here than we did previously, but I'm not positive. These maps for Mars are a little bit more closed in, and we
The
don't have as
excavator
many
has lost power.
avenues
Find
of
another
attack
cell.
for the enemies. Might be able to get actually one dig completed before we get overwhelmed by enemies, if we're lucky. And that kind of speeds us up. This position right here is actually quite a good one for what we're seeking to do, but we need to make sure that they don't use this turret against us. And we also need to take those guys down so we can get their power cells. I don't know if it was in the past that this was the case, but they have added a function where your
Proceed to the dig site.
map will display where the batteries are, which is quite nice, or the power cells. I just refer to them as batteries because it's pretty much what they are. I don't know if that was always a function, but it's definitely a very handy one to notice, is that anytime a power cell is dropped, you can find it by looking at your mini-map there. So if your allies, for instance, take down a power carrier, and you need to find out where they drop their battery, you can always just look at your mini-map. Come on, 7 seconds. It doesn't have that much life left. I don't know if it'll survive this round. It did. We managed to keep that one alive. That's good. More cryotic, and we can then move on to the next one, kind of ready with an extra power cell. Okay. They were kind of tearing us up though. Our health wasn't really or our iron skin specifically wasn't really doing a whole lot of favors for us. It is interesting to note that the armor sets on Rhino kind of show through his iron skin, so they don't get the texturing effect, which may not be a good thing in your eyes.
Excavator is ready to go. Keep it powered and protected from enemy fire.
I think this armor set would probably look better on a more nature-based frame than Rhino, but considering it's the only one we've got, we might as well use it. Alright. So we were able to handle him pretty good with our heck. At the previous dig site, we just have to make sure that we can handle him here at this one just fine. Making sure that we don't let
We need another power cell for the excavator.
Our excavator take too much damage, but I don't think we're going to be able to keep this one. Too many avenues of attack here. We don't really have an effective way to shield it. Plus, of course, the power carriers are stingy. Oh, and we've got a Heika Master, don't we? Let's see if we can't grab that power cell and keep our excavator alive for another couple seconds. We'll try and deal with this guy as well. The Heika Masters are kind of annoying, but not the worst enemy to deal with in excavations. Their flamethrowers do hurt a good amount though, so if you're not ready for that, you'll lose a dig like I just did there.
Protect the remaining dig sites.
As if I was ready for it. Let's destroy a power carrier so we can get a little bit extra power for the next dig, and we'll move on. We're just going to power through these because it's going to start sending more Heika Masters, Bombards, Noxes the longer we take. So the more digs we can get down on the grounds, the better. These missions, by the way, you can do with a group. We're just not getting lucky enough to get a group coming with us. Would be nice if we could, though. I just realized their Taxon's also taking a good amount of damage, so if he keels over, we're going to lose a lot of survivability from our shields, which would be really unfortunate. We've got another dig right where we were previously, so we might be able to keep this one alive for a little bit longer if we don't get any massively heavy units coming towards us. Do I want to try and get the other dig site going? I don't think so. Good old Heika. Troopers are coming through.
The excavator has run out of
So
power.
these are enemies, I believe, from the previous dig. But of course it will spawn new enemies. Really love a power carrier right about now, though. So we just got a mod right there for a Kavat, which we don't have. You can get those mods from the Heika Masters and the Heikas. So if you're trying to get Kavat mods for any reason, you can get them from Heikas and Heika Masters. The Heika Masters, I believe, actually drop a special ship part that you can be used to help you get Kavats as well, which you probably already have if you try to get more mods for your Kavat. Oh, we're gonna die. Yep, that's okay though.
Excavator destroyed.
We just have to power through and keep the dig sites kind of up as long as we can. We only need a certain number of cryovac before we can just head out. So if we can keep this next one up for most of its duration, we'll be good, but I don't think we'll be able to. It gets really stingy with these power carriers sometimes, but only oddly sometimes.
Keep it powered and protected from enemy fire.
Let's activate this extra excavator just because we're so close to it.
The scanner has picked up a target. Go to
It'll
the
speed us up a little bit.
Excavator is ready to go. Keep it powered and protected from enemy fire.
Oh. I say it was stingy with power carriers, and of course then it just sends 2 at us immediately. Of course it does. So that'll help us keep that one alive.
Lost power. Find another cell.
Take this guy down as well. Keep that down. That's the heavy gunner that was destroying it. Should have known. Annoying heavy gunners. Man, it really takes a lot to take one of these guys down with unmodded weapons like this. We don't really have any better options, though, so we just kind of have to do what we have to do. Let's run over to E. E is starting to get attacked, but I think we're going to keep that one alive for a couple more seconds. It should give us what we need. I hope, anyway, as long as there's no bombards or heavy gunners around. Alright. Thankfully, when we died, we got Taxon back. I don't know how much of a help he's actually been so far, but any bit of help is better than none. I think we also got Vacuum back. I'm not sure if you lose Vacuum or looting mods when your Sentinel dies, but those sort of mods are very useful for your survivability. I didn't already imagine. They allow you to pick up things like health orbs and ammo from farther away. Okay, just waiting for that power carrier game. Any time you'd like to give it to us. Hopefully before these things are able to kill us, that is. I am kind of just going at them with the Galantine here just because I don't really have any ammo for the heck. Yep, still no ammo for my heck. So we're just gonna keep going at them with the Galantine. For any of these sort of situations, a quick melee is also okay, but you could just switch to using your sort of a stance, but we don't really have a stance for the Galantine, so we're just kind of basic default attacking here. I'd potentially want to use my Lado, but I don't think my Lado would do anywhere near enough damage.
Excavator destroyed.
Well,
Protect the remaining dig sites.
it wasn't perfect, but that'll do. We were able to keep the extractor powered to get to what we needed, so I guess that'll do. Really would have loved to have shown off doing this pristine, in other words, getting the extractors all the way to max, but we just really don't have the capability to do that at this exact moment. Our weapons are nowhere near modded enough to be able to handle some of the enemies that we need to deal with. Still, we're done and we're moving forward. So that gives us the Limbo systems, which we will begin crafting, and we will also head over and start trying to work our way towards the bosses that we need to defeat for the relays. Alright, a little bit of slowdown
do you
there.
understand? This Limbo is telling us his story in pure math, and I must say, he's quite witty. You have to forge that blueprint as soon as possible. I must know what comes next.
So we will begin building Limbo systems. Effectively that will give us what we need to begin the next part, which will be the Limbo chassis. But that will be next time. This time around we're just going to head over and deal with what we need to on, let's see, for the Saturn Junction we need the new Strange, which we've defeated. We also need to beat Alad V on Themisto, so we could go past Thebe and then to Themisto. We also need to complete Bal on Europa. Where is Bal? Okay, so Bal's not too far away either. Oh, we have to complete a hijack. I just realized we were in solo mode. We probably should have switched it over to public while we were doing those quests. I even talked about that. Dang it. Oh well. Let's see, for the hijack we want to make sure we have enough shields. So let's see, do we have any shield boosters? We have 2 shield boosters. I think we're going to need more than that. Let's see, can we craft them? Do we have enough resources? Yeah, we do have enough resources. I'm not worried about crafting a couple more of those. Let's craft some more energy restores as well. We used up quite a few of those at some point. Let's see. For hijack, I don't think Volt will do us any good for hijack. Do we want to switch up our weapons though? No, I think we're okay for our weapons overall, at least for this moment. Taxon need any upgrading? No, he's kind of good. At least for the moment. if we manage to get our hands on enough credits and endo, we can definitely upgrade some more stuff, but we don't have a whole lot of that. Let's see. We can put some stars in the Avaya sculpture here. I don't think this one requires any. Oh, it does require an amber. Okay, so we still need 2 more ambers to complete these sculptures, and then we can get some more endo out of those. Alright. Yeah, completed 1 blueprint, I think. Yes, so we'll craft some more of those. We're not going to wait forever for those to craft, though. Actually, we'll start crafting another shield restore as well. And we'll jump straight into hijack. Should be able to complete at least the hijack. I don't know if we'll be able to complete ball or anything else. We are kind of running low on time. I forget what ball is as well, so we may have to deal with some tough enemies. Hopefully it won't be too bad. I don't think they throw anything massively difficult at you just yet, so I think we'll be okay.
Your target today is a Corpus rover. Take control and escort the rover to extraction. We have to move quickly. Once the Corpus realize what we were trying to do, they will use everything they can to stop us.
So, basic hijack, same as pretty much all the rest. I should be able to go through. I'm trying to let Taxon give us some extra shields here, so we can deal with our enemies better, and also kind of clean up so maybe we could get some energy as well. We can also pop these, see if that gives us any extra energy. The extra energy will be nice. Oh, cyan star, that's not too bad. Extra energy would be good if we need to stomp like I just did there, or use our roar or anything of that nature. Good old roar and then stomp when Rhino can clear out pretty much any enemy around this level. Pretty much, anyway. Let's destroy that. Destroy these guys. Pop them. I don't think the elite crew members are actually all that dangerous. The Detron crew members, though, on the other hand, are actually fairly dangerous if they get right up on top of you, as those shotguns are pretty tough. So we also need to deal with this nullifier here. Thankfully the rover hasn't activated because we haven't opened the door yet, so we can pop those open. See if there's any energy in any of these crates. Nope, I don't think I'm going to get lucky enough to get some energy. Oh, that's a shame. Alright, well, we'll activate our iron skin for the second time. Do I want to energy up? Maybe. Well, we'll wait. We'll wait and see.
The rover is active, but wait.
Oh.
The Corpus have remotely corrupted its power cell. Hold on. I will reconfigure the rover to draw power from your shields.
That was massively unfortunate what just happened there. I stepped in front of the rover and it prevented my movement because of the fact that I kind of got run over by it, at least by the game standards. So we're gonna want to actually, you know what? Let's just revive. I think that'll be easier than trying to get more shields here. Because of course the revive does give us full shields, and also gives us some energy as well, so we can kind of power through. We can place our shield restorers on top of the rover, which will actually give us some much needed reprieve there. We'll throw down an energy restore as well, just so we can get iron skin back up as soon as it falls off. And we'll use 2 shield restores.
So far, so good.
The faster we get through this, of course, the less likely we are to run into more enemies, and the more likely we are to succeed. So, we want to do that kind of as quickly as we can. Let's use our final energy restore and our final shield restore. We're going to have to kind of power through these enemies here. We just want to go. No point waiting. There is an energy orb back there that might be worthwhile to grab.
Keep going. That rover's
no, I think we're
contents
good.
will be a huge boost to our cause.
Yeah, Taxon gave us a little bit more shields there, which is perfect. We're powering through. We're actually almost to the ends now, but we gotta get more shields. So we're gonna come back here and wreck those guys. Hope that that gives us a little bit extra shields. Keep powering through. I really need Taxon to do some work here, especially with these nullifiers around. Well, and since we no longer have any restores left, we're really gonna have to kind of hope that he can do some work. Oh man, if only the heck would shoot these freaking shield bubbles a little bit better. Okay, so we got enough.
Regained control of the rover.
Got enough for going back on the rover, so we can keep powering through. The end is literally, I think, just right at the end of this road here. This little path. So if we can just get towards that without letting the rover die, I think
You have
we're good.
almost reached the extraction point. Keep fighting.
These hijack missions are, of course, very resource intensive because we just used a lot of restores. Would be nice if we didn't have to use them, but kind of did just because we needed the energy to deal with the enemies for the most part, and the shields definitely
taking
needed.
damage. The Corpus would rather destroy it than let us escape with its cargo.
Okay, let's jump off. Prevent any enemies from coming up behind us. Wait for our shields to recharge. Get out of here. Go away.
The Corpus are pulling back the rover.
Let me
You
and my
need
buggy
to stay
go.
close to maintain control.
Alright. So got it. End is literally right up in front of us there. I think we have enough shields to just make it all the way to the end. So I think we're good. That was much less rocky than some of the previous hijacks we've done. Thankfully the Corpus aren't as good at destroying objectives as the Grenier are. So we're done. This is our rover down. And it was just that simple. Though I might have made it look more simple than it actually was. Alright. I think we could stop there, but you know what? I'm gonna complete Ball just because that'll give us the final objective of Alad V and his boss
Do you
fight.
understand? This Limbo is telling us his story.
Ordis
in
is just
pure
going to
math.
repeat the
And
message that
I
he
must
stated
say,
previously every time we
he's
come back
quite
until
witty.
the
You have to forge that blueprint as soon
blueprint
as
is
possible.
completed.
I must know
So
what comes next.
that's just how it goes. I'll keep crafting some of these squad energy restores until we have 4 of these and 2 more of these. So we're stocked and ready for any other hijacks or anything of that nature. Okay, so Ball is just a exterminate. Okay, so we'll complete Ball, and the next time after we complete the Limbo Theorem part of the quest, we'll complete Themisto. And that'll be a good game plan, because then we can just move on to some of the other planets and do some more stuff. So let's go into Ball, exterminate, simple, shouldn't be any problem for us. Might take a little bit of time, but that's okay, we've got enough time to get it done.
Eliminate all Corpus
I say that
threats.
now, and then I'm sure whoever's watching this after the fact sees how long this video is and notices that it's way longer than it probably should be. I'm hoping it doesn't come to that, but you never know. Oh, that's a big old group of enemies. Let's just stomp them. Yeah, everybody's dead. Pretty much everybody, anyway. Clears out a good enough amount. Only 61 enemies need to be defeated. That's simple. Shouldn't have any problems defeating 61 enemies. We may run into some tougher Corpus enemies here, though, like Ratels. I'm thinking just because of the fact that the icon for this level was a Bursa, we might run into a Bursa. Which I would prefer not to have to deal with, but you never know. Alright. Dealt with. I don't think we've run across a sniper crewman before, but basically they're just Corpus crewmen with sniper rifles and throw it on those Ratel. I feel like I have run into Ratel before though, so I don't really think I need to talk about them too much. Whoa, that ship is destroying us. Need to be very careful of those gunships. They do a lot of damage. Even near the end of the game, they still do a good amount of damage to you. Oh man, I don't have any energy and Taxon's already dead. So if we get killed, yeah. We'll pop back up. Iron Skin, Stomp. That'll take out most of the enemies. We'll be able to pick off whatever's left. We just kind of got overwhelmed because that gunship really tore into us and killed off Taxon. Really got to be careful of those gunships. Specifically the turrets on the gunships are the things that are annoying, not the actual gunships themselves. Gunships themselves don't actually do damage, but the turrets on the gunships do a hefty bit of damage to you, especially because it's explosive. Can destroy sentinels, hurt allies pretty quickly too. Pretty much anything explosive, such as napalms, bombards, any other enemies that might have explosive weaponry like grenades. Very easy for your sentinel to die to that sort of thing. So you want to be aware of that and try and stay away from those. If you're able to, that is. It's not always something you can really help though. So these fusion MOAs, I don't know if I've talked about those before. They are basically just MOAs, but they do spawn the Ospreys, the attack Ospreys. So if you can kill them before they spawn those attack Ospreys, that's pretty good. Wow, he just destroyed that Corpus Tech. He was not ready for us. Typically those Corpus Techs tend to be one of the most annoying enemies that the Corpus have. Aside from maybe these shield Ospreys. Just because Corpus Techs can spawn Ospreys. I think they can even spawn shield Ospreys. They can also negate most of the weapons that you would use for Corpus.
Find extraction.
As most of the weapons that you'd use against Corpus would be magnetic or something similar of the nature, and Corpus Techs are mostly health-based enemies, meaning that magnetic is not very effective against them. But we're done with Ball. That actually took fairly little amount of time. Yeah, and that's Ball. So we've completed another objective for the relay. Next time we'll complete the final objective, and we'll be able to move on to Saturn, I believe it is. I'm probably messing that up. But yeah. I don't think there's anything else I would need to farm for the next part.
Operator, do you understand?
If I do need
This
anything
Limbo is
else,
telling
I'll
us his
probably
story in pure
try
math.
to complete more
And
Mars,
I
but I
must
don't
say, he's
really
quite
think we're going to
witty.
need to worry about that
You
anytime soon.
have to forge that blueprint as soon as possible.
It'll take
I must know what
a
comes
good amount of
next.
time for us to complete all the mission objectives before we can finally kind of level up to the point where we've completed everything. So I'm not really worried about rushing into it. This LP is going to take some time, but yeah, next time we'll hopefully be able to unlock Saturn. And that's one step closer to completing the full star map, which ends, of course, at Sedina. But until then, I hope you guys are having a fantastic holiday season and a wonderful new year. And goodbye.